Good morning. Welcome. This is our first live, I think, for the center that we've done. I might have done one before. But good morning. It is awesome to meet with you all this morning. It's a Wednesday morning in October. Today is October 18th. And
16.
so, oh, sorry, 16. I can't read.
Yeah, you need to see an eye doctor, did you say?
I do. Monday, I'm going. So, welcome everybody. It is great to see you. We'll just give a moment here for its thing to just alert everybody that we are live. There we are. We're calling this Let's Chat today, and the conversation is going to be about sparking your energy. So, so we've had some amazing experiences here at the center in recent weeks. And so Jay and I want to share some of that with you. But, as we begin this, we want to hear from you as well. We want this to be a conversation with you. And so we'd love to hear about what's sparking your energy, or maybe what's not sparking your energy. Maybe you need help in sparking your energy. And so, given that we are live streaming from that energy enhancement system, what better way could we be doing this, right? To be able to have this conversation here with you this morning. Right as we open. So we had a little break before members come in, and we thought we would go live really quick to answer questions and support people on their journey and give them some support on sparking their energy. So with that, as Facebook is making the announcements out, are there any announcements we want to share? What events do we have coming up? Let's just start with that while people are coming on.
Oh, sure. Well, the next event is our community overnight. That's this weekend.
We have a couple of spots left for that. That's on Saturday evening.
It's always a fun event. We kind of allow up to a certain number of people, and it's a wonderful price from a contribution perspective for an overnight experience
in the EESystem room.
Yeah, and we have a special guest joining us too to help lead everybody in a group experience. So she's one of our members. And she's looking forward to coming back and being in a different role.
Yep. She actually participated in the overnight ones.
Yes, before.
And then on, I think it's October 25th.
Yes.
We have our next sound bath here in the EESystem room. And if you've never experienced a sound bath, if you have experienced a sound bath before, but not in an EESystem room, I encourage you to consider having this experience. I kind of equate the experience to a sound bath someplace else, kind of like listening to your favorite song on an FM radio station. Compared to being in an EESystem, it's like going to a live concert. You really your whole body feels the bowls in a completely different kind of way. And so we invite you to join us that evening, October 25th. And this one's going to be ocean inspired. So Jay has a few tricks up his sleeve. We won't share too much. But if that sounds like something you would like to participate in, we do have seats still available for that by reservation. You can go to our website, quantumlightwellness.com, and click on the events link and see our calendar and register online for those. And then we have the next event after that is also our next EE Sunday event.
Oh, no, that's at the, is it? That's towards the end of November.
That's in November.
Yeah.
But we don't have an event until November.
Oh, I guess. Well, no, till the end of November.
Right. That would be the next one following.
I guess so. That would probably.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the next one on. That's the next one on the calendar. There may be something planned in the middle that's not out there yet, but that's the next one that's out there. And so that one has to do with actually sparking motivation. And so I forget what the actual title is, but that's the topic. Anchoring
and building resilience.
Anchoring and building resilience. Thank you, Jay. So we encourage you to participate in that. That's on a Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You'll see that out on the events tab of our website. And I finally see some viewers joining us. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So we're inviting you, let's talk about sparking your energy. So Jay, share what's one of the latest stories that we have here in the center of a member that had their energy sparked.
Oh, well, I was just thinking about that doctor and his wife that were here, and they had an opportunity to experience the EESystem in a 12 unit. And they wanted to experience what it would be like in a 24 unit.
Right. So we have, just really quick, for those who don't know, we have a 24 unit system, which means we have 4 of these towers, and each tower has 6 screens. So it's a total of 24 screens. And so they were in a unit that was a 12 unit system, which isn't necessarily half the size. The difference between 12 and 24 isn't doubled, but it's actually exponential, exponentially more powerful. And so
the fields that it creates is more dense,
right,
and the number of vectors higher. So it's kind of hard to explain what that feels like until you experience it yourself. But this doctor, came to experience it. And I think it was a little bit more than he expected. He went back home and then decided to do some other things, kind of delayed doing the foot soak, which is part of the protocol, hydrating and then doing the foot soak and the sea salt. And
for detox. Yeah, it's part of the detox process after you go home.
And then when he didn't quite do that, he was checking in and he was expressed interest in an upcoming event, and we ended up finding out that he wasn't feeling so good. And we asked, did you do the foot bath? And he was like, no. And so I think there was a part of him that was kind of regretting about not doing the foot bath sooner. But he, I think he proceeded to do that, which was good.
And he's starting to feel better since he did it.
Yeah.
So that is part of the process. When we come into the EE system, particularly for the first couple of times that you have the experience, it's very important to do that 30-minute foot detox, or at least, if not a full bath detox, a 30-minute foot detox.
Yeah.
And not using Epsom salt, but Himalayan pink salt.
Yes.
And he didn't do that, but after we encouraged him to get on that, he started to feel better.
Yeah, it's just interesting how important that foot soak is for some people. Otherwise, they end up having, really experiencing like flu-like symptoms,
body aches, headaches, things like that.
Yeah. So if you're not used to a 24, it's make sure you do that. Something tells me like if he had continued with the 12, his body's already kind of acclimated to that.
Yep.
And that maybe it wouldn't be as time sensitive. But in the case of a 24. It's just interesting when members call us back or when we call them to check in on them, what we end up finding out. It's pretty interesting, especially since we're around it a lot. And so it's not like, our bodies are really acclimated in a very different sense with just being here like most days of the week.
Most days of the week.
Yeah, we're just closed on Mondays. But, we're pretty much here Tuesday through Sunday, and we don't have like an experience like that. It's very different since...
well, we did in the beginning.
In the beginning, yes.
In the beginning, we did. So it takes time for the body to acclimate and to be able to even hold the energy without all of the negative effects of the detoxing that's so required in the beginning. So we still detox, though. We still do our foot baths periodically, but we don't do it obviously every day after a day's worth of work. So.
Yeah. But it's usually good to experience like that daytime session, for a couple of hours. And that's what he was doing. He wanted to see that first. And then, knowing that, I think it's informing him about like his next steps.
Yeah. And
it seems like, he's planning on possibly doing an overnight in the future. So, he's looking to clock in those hours. Because when you're at rest, the body wants to heal itself. And he's already seeing how potent this can help as like the body. It just really is an amazing catalyst to get things going.
So the whole point of this technology, the technology doesn't heal the body. It actually helps the body to heal itself by creating two different types of energy, the biophotonic energy, which you see scrolling on the screens, and that stays within the four walls of this room. And then the scalar energy, which is created by the black boxes behind the screens. That's a quantum level energy beyond our perception, and that goes out for 2 miles from the center of the room. And between the two, we have a biophotonic scalar implosion that occurs in the middle of the room that fills up this room with a high energy, a very coherent energy, which allows the cells to regenerate down to the DNA level. And we've had members come here. People have heard me share this before, but for those who are new, we've had members come here and participate here just to boost their immune system. It's part of their overall wellness. We've had people come here on medications for blood sugar and anxiety and depression come off their meds. We've had people with pain and inflammation issues come here for relief of those things.
Speaking of pain and inflammation, like there was that that member that came in. He was hit by, I believe, like a truck.
Yes, yesterday.
And, yeah, so that accident.
Alex.
Yeah, that accident happened maybe over a year ago.
2019.
Oh yeah,
I believe
several
he
years
said.
ago.
It was
And
several
he's
years
still,
ago.
recovering in some ways, and you could see that in the energy scan.
Yeah.
It's quite fascinating. He described.
So hold on a minute.
Yeah.
So we do energy scans here, and we scan your 10 fingertips before you come in the room, and we get a picture of what a person's energy field looks like down to the organ level, as well as what their chakras look like. And then they come into the room, they have their experience in the room, and then afterwards we scan their 10 fingertips again to get an after effect, and we're able to compare what their energy field and their chakras look like before and after to see how the room has influenced their overall wellness. And it's amazing what we see. Energy doesn't lie. And so it's amazing what we're able to see in these before and after scans, and the scans have been very affirming and confirming for the members that to have these scans done. You can actually see the benefit of the system.
So yeah, for this one member, he was in an accident. He was I guess running. I had ear pods in, listening to something. Had a hoodie on, and wasn't quite paying attention, and
Hit by a truck.
Yeah, hit by a truck that was turning the corner, and the truck didn't realize he was
there.
Yeah, so it was kind of a little bit too late, but he sensed something was coming. He braced to the one side, and if he didn't do that, he would have probably been flattened, is kind of what he shared with us. But thank God, he kind of anticipated, he kind of felt like something was coming that way. He braced, and he was hit, and you could see it on the energy scan, that weakened side of the body. And then he did a 2-hour session, right? Just 2 hours.
He did 2 hours, and we did his after scan, and it was just amazing. You could see his energy field, literally, we refer it to as glowing up. You could see the glow up of his energy, and I think he went from 42 to 53, which was pretty significant for 2 hours. And in addition to that, his chakras also became much more aligned, and all of the energy centers were much more balanced. So he was amazed by this. He was absolutely amazed. He had been coming to EE centers before, but in this particular session, he's never been scanned like this before, and there was a certain level of skepticism as to whether it was actually working or not. But with this scan, it has demonstrated to him that it actually is working, and he felt the difference after this 2-hour session. So he's all excited. He's excited to share this with friends and family, of course, and he's looking forward to coming back, thankfully. So Alex, if you're watching this, thank you for sharing your experience here with us, and we look forward to serving you again really soon.
Speaking of family, hello to family too.
Yes,
that's watching.
Hey Pam, I see you. Welcome. So we're here to answer questions, as well as share experience and testimonies about raising energy, whether it's about the technology or the center, or maybe your own experience at home with how you can raise your energy, because there are different things that you can do. When we think about raising our energy, we know that the EE system works in all 4 realms of being. And when we talk just out and about the world, like before the EE system, when I thought about raising my energy, I always thought about my physical energy, right? If I didn't feel energetic, I felt like I was in a slump, right? So we think about our physical energy, but our energy also is comprised of our mental energy, our emotional energy, and our spiritual energy. And the system works in all four realms of energy to not just raise the energy, but make it more coherent. And when these four areas are in an optimum state and very coherent, our body's ability to heal itself becomes maximized and is able to really do its job much more effectively and efficiently. And we've seen this time and again, and that's the purpose of the system, and that's why people come here. So we've actually even had people with stage 4 tumors reverse their tumors as well. So it's been a pretty amazing journey that we've had being here at the center and working with our members. So so what's another testimonial we can share?
Oh, a testimonial.
How about the guy that was on the I can't think of his name. The guy that was on the spectrum with the walker.
Oh yeah.
That started dancing like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he was on the spectrum, early 40s, and he had quite an experience. And they had to come back. The one thing that they did different was coming to the EESystem center here, and he's not the one kind of person to walk. Run. I mean, like he even lift his arms above his head.
He uses a walker, and he's very slow. He tends to shuffle his feet.
Yeah. And then he was doing things that he would normally not do. And so the mom was like really taken aback. The other thing too is he had like a lipoma, and it started releasing, and she saw that it's a very good sign because it was releasing a lot all of a sudden, and it wasn't before. And so there was a certain sense of detox that she was seeing. And so, with that and seeing the changes in, his physical, being, and then one night he woke up and shouted to, I'm healed, I'm healed. And it really was like taking the mom by surprise with the words that he was sharing. So, with those few different things going on physically and the words that he spoke, and the only thing different that they did was coming to the EESystem Center. They came back, did another session. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with their second session. And that's not typical. I mean, like not everyone has an experience like that after one session.
And you didn't mention that he, before he would walk and shuffle his feet with his walker, but he was practically running and not using his walker. So, and doing trying to do Michael Jackson dance moves and the moonwalk and all that. And he was so excited. And when he came back for the second time, he gave us all fist bumps. He was all excited to come back. So it's an amazing start to his journey in coming here. And like Jay said, it's not typical, with one visit. Usually it takes more time for a person's body to experience healing. The more entrenched a condition typically is, the longer period of time it takes to realize a sustained benefit. So, and that just depends on everybody. Everybody's different, right? Hey, Julie, good morning. It's good to see you. So we're just talking about
sparking
your energy. So just sharing some testimonials and about the system and the center, and
we welcome any questions
you want
to talk about.
Yep. So how maybe you're in a slump and you need to spark your own energy. Like, how do you do that? Don't be afraid to put in the chat what your questions are.
Or if you have an aha experience.
Share that.
Yeah, we had a member, yesterday she launched a book. That was a big milestone for her. It's something that, she worked on and then put it aside, went on the back burner. And, we were happy to share that in our social media. Happy for Julie with her book.
Hey, Julie. You'll see the post yesterday about the book on our page.
Different Julie. Yes. Oh, I think that's a different Julie.
Oh, yeah, Julie Diaz. Sorry. Not to be confused with the other Julie that's watching right now.
That's right. Yeah. So we're very happy for her. Awesome that, she has her book. and sharing that with the world.
Yep.
It's conquer Hashimoto's.
And she has her own testimony here by
Yeah,
coming to the center
right.
that she actually shares in the book.
That's right.
So we encourage you, to give the book a read.
Yeah, she mentioned that at our past EE Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, where we
Yep.
were talking about how sometimes we get in our own way.
Right. So EE Sunday is our workshops that we run once a month. And this past Sunday we had one, and Julie happened to be there. And the topic was, are you in your own way? Are you getting in your own way? And how to get out of our own way, essentially. And we talked about this process called the growth journey during that workshop, and the 5 different stages of the growth journey.
Yeah, I think the first step is kind of just being aware, and a willingness to maybe step out of that comfort zone.
Yeah, the bubble of comfort.
Yeah, that's right. But when you ask the question, am I getting in my own way? At least it's prompting, the questions like, maybe is there something that I'm doing that I might be getting in, the way of your own journey. And it's, I think, a good question that we ask ourselves every now and then, wherever you are, and almost in anything that you're doing, whether it's with work or personal or
Health
from a
related,
spiritual perspective.
Spiritual related, like we're at financial. There's something here for everybody in some aspect of life, usually where we're getting in our own way. If it's our health and wellness, maybe we're eating too much, or we're eating too much cake and ice cream, or maybe we're not moving.
That's always a difficult one, the cake and ice cream.
Well, I like my ice cream. Don't go taking my ice cream
sugar
away.
Sugar is difficult. Sugar is not. I mean, I've been working on that for myself. It's one of the things I noticed. On my energy scans, my liver was showing as hyperactive, and I was able to take, let's say, turmeric, and my liver would go into optimal, and I noticed that too on my family. Hyperactive liver, and everyone was taking. I suggested to everyone, maybe try turmeric, and it was working for everyone, where the liver was no longer as hyperactive. And then I kind of wondered, like, what was causing it to be hyperactive to begin with? And so I started, I don't know, seeing what I could do. And then I came to I cut alcohol. That wasn't causing it. And then the next thing I started really, starting to speak to me was sugar, of all things, and a number of things that in my reading, and just seeing what people are doing. Even some of our members, we've had different members cut sugar for various reasons, and I kind of wonder, it's like, all right, I don't have some of the same things that other people have going on. Like, there was a member with arteriosclerosis, she had cut sugar, and it was kind of coming onto my radar. It's like, maybe I need to consider doing that for myself. Maybe that's the reason for my liver showing as hyperactive in my energy scans. And so since I've been cutting sugar, I'm finding my scans are different. My liver is pulling back into optimal. So it's amazing, just something as simple as cutting sugar.
And what I find about just observing Jay with this whole sugar cutting thing is, initially, we all think, when you cut sugar, you cut the cake and the ice cream and the desserts and the donuts and all that stuff and the carbs. But he's even looking at it, he's done all that already, and he loves fruit. And we know a lot of fruit, there's a lot of sugar in some things, like grapes and watermelon, and some of these things he loves, and he's had to even cut back on some of that, because there is a difference in sugar and how our body metabolizes the sugar, and there is fruit that is actually really good for us that we don't want to cut, such as berries and things like that. And then there's others that we have to throttle back on, the watermelon and the grapes that really spike our blood sugar, and it's not so good for us. So he's even gone that far to, really look at those things even in the natural sugar area, right? Even though it might be natural and organic, how's that affecting his fatty liver? And it's proving, as he's beginning to reduce those things too, that it just keeps improving and improving. So sometimes the very things, we might make a trade, right? We'll make a trade for, instead of cake and ice cream, he goes for the watermelon and grapes, right? And he could have just stayed on the cake and ice cream thing, and it didn't really affect, there really wasn't too much of an effect. But when he made that other shift, now he's really starting to see a shift.
Yeah, well, I think there's still a difference between the processed cane sugar
There
and
is.
then the natural sugar with the fiber.
There is.
And so I thought it was a pretty fair trade-off, and especially trying to go more organic.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I love ice cream. I still occasionally have a little bit of ice cream, but I try to do organic ice cream.
Yeah. Well, it's all about balance too.
Yeah, and not as frequent. But yeah, I think I overdid it on the fruit. And so now that I've adjusted that a little bit, I'm starting to now explore doing like juicing in the morning. So I've been enjoying lemon, juicing an entire lemon, a whole organic lemon, including the peel, the seeds, and then blending that, and then adding some frozen organic blueberries. And it might be a bit tart, but I'm all good with that. So I'm not really sweetening that up with anything else other than just the blueberries.
You could use honey though.
Yeah, I could. I've just been doing it just the lemon, the water, and some frozen blueberries.
Yep.
But now I'm kind of shifting. Now we're in the fall. I'm now doing some apple in the smoothie. So, and the juice, yeah, for my juice in the morning. Yep. Pretty cool experience to experience what it's like to kind of do this whole sugar like detox.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider doing that?
What?
Doing a sugar detox?
I don't know. There are
Yeah.
certain things. A complete sugar detox? No.
No.
There are certain things I like my sugar in, like I like my coffee. So I only have 1 teaspoon of sugar in my coffee. And it's a big mug. It's not like a small cup of coffee. Like it's a 16-ounce mug. So,
How about switching that to coconut sugar?
well, I've done that. I've tried different things, and I've tried the date sugar. I actually enjoy the date sugar, except I love the flavor of that, but it creates like a film. The sugar creates like a film near as you drink down to like this much left in the mug. There's this film, and every time I sip it, I get this like, I don't know, texture of film in the coffee, and it's just like, bleh. So it's kind of like having coffee grounds or something, but not quite that thick. But there's like this, I just don't like the film. So the taste is fine, but the consistency for the second half of the cup, I don't know. So I rather just use the organic sugar. It's only 15 calories. I'll take it. I can spare that, I think.
Yeah, you're not using that much.
No, and I don't really eat candy or stuff like that. Like we don't really keep a lot of junk in the house so much. The boys bring it in, but I try not to eat it very much. I got one kid that works in a bagel shop. I got another kid that works in a bakery. So I'm kind of doomed. They bring all this crap home. But and in the beginning, it was rough because, you kind of want to try everything that they all have to offer. But now it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of over the whole thing. So not so inclined to try anything they bring home. But yeah. So Pam talks about, especially when it comes to the good for you coffee. Yes, it's true, because that's amazing stuff. And so I actually gave up coffee until I learned about that coffee, and have been drinking that. But even drinking that in moderation. I only pretty much just have my 1 mug most days, and that's that. So I enjoy my coffee. If you're gonna drink something, at least drink something that's gonna be good for you. Right. So what else? Any other things about sparking your energy that we can support you with? And anything about sparking energy that we want to talk about? I know one of the other things that we do here with the energy scans, a lot of times after somebody gets their scan, they're kind of curious about how they can continue to keep their energy sparked or maintain their energy in between sessions. And of course, nutrition is important. Of course, getting good sleep is important, in hydrating and moving your body. But
and
sometimes
our environment.
But sometimes we need a little extra support. And one of the things that we're able to do here at the center now is we are able to create a personalized LifeWave patch recommendation. We are able to create that for the member from the BioWell energy scan tool. And so based on the person's scan, we are able to then recommend specific LifeWave patches. And our members have found that using these patches in between their EESystem sessions has been a tremendous help. And one particular member that comes to mind, Gloria. Gloria, if you're
Oh, yeah,
watching,
that's right.
hello. She's one of our favorite members. She's had a wonderful experience of coming to the EESystem Center for a few hours a week and then using the patches in between. And my gosh, like mood elevation and pain reduction. She came in after the first week of doing both, between doing two sessions and then doing the 1 week of patches. She came in here dancing. She was so happy. She says, "It's the first week I haven't had any pain." Right? So it's been just amazing that we've been able to utilize the energy scans to create those personal patch recommendations, and the members are loving it, and they're benefiting by it too. So it's another way that we serve our members here, and that we share with you. It might be something that you might want to consider too.
Yep, these patches are non-transdermal, non-invasive. I've shown family some of these patches and what they look like. There's no chemicals, no drugs, no stimulants, so it's a wonderful, natural, holistic. They're considered a general wellness patch, but it's amazing. They kind of act as a mirror. It's activated by your body heat, and it takes your infrared light and alters the wavelength and sends it back into the body. So it's considered low-level light therapy. So yeah, it's a pretty cool technology. It's not scalar wave technology like the EESystem, but it also uses light, the light as a modality. And so it's a pretty inventive product that people could use at home. And you just kind of wear it for 12 hours. You put it on in the morning, take it off at night is typical usage, 12 hours, and then you discard the patch and then put on a new one the next day.
It literally takes like 2 minutes, if that. Like if you can't commit to doing something for yourself that only takes 2 minutes a day, then I don't know what else to do for you. There isn't much hope to support you in any other way. I mean, the commitment is just, in terms of time, it's practically no time at all.
And some people feel the effects like immediately, like even with the ice wave, for example.
Within minutes.
Yeah, within minutes. We had a member come in, a couple different members, like Gloria was one of them.
She was.
Tried it on the feet, and she had like the best night's sleep ever. She woke up late and didn't realize, what time it was, thinking...
she was late for her EE session the next day. "I'm so sorry, I overslept, and it's the best night's sleep I ever had." It's like, we got you covered. Just get here when you can.
Yeah.
But
and then
she was so happy.
And then there was another member where she was having pain on the backside, and we used the clock wise method where you put a patch on the pain point and then the other patch at 12, and then you try the 3 o'clock and then the 6 and then the 9 o'clock position, and it felt okay on the 12. It seemed to reduce at the 3, and once it was planted on the 6, she was like, "It's gone." The pain. So left it there. So it was pretty cool to see that happening like real time with a member, and it's like about how fast some of these patches can work for a person.
So Pam answered the question, Jay, are those the patches you showed her? Yes, it is. And you don't need to be scanned first to begin using them. Actually, we offer a couple of different things here at the center for our
One
members.
of them's a complimentary consultation.
It's a complimentary consultation without the scan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a conversation. But then we also do ones with the scan, of course, which the scan will get really personalized and drill down to the specifics that you need based on the scan results. So
we'll be able to actually see which organs and organ systems are calling attention for certain patches.
Right.
And then see which patches are more of a priority, because let's say there are multiple or many organ systems calling for that patch. But if you're looking for specific areas or specific organs to be, because that's on your radar, we could focus in on those and then take a look at the patches for those organs and organ systems. So it's a pretty cool way to see what patches to consider using is part of your journey with using the patches,
Right.
because right now for most people it's kind of they're guessing.
Yep.
So this kind of helps remove some of the guesswork, and
To your personal protocol
Mm-hmm.
that essentially is getting developed
Mm-hmm.
based on what you need at that given point in time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love the energy scans and what it's doing and how it can help people. It's pretty cool with that, as well as even for the energy enhancement system, with just seeing the before and after, and that kind of lets people know it's like how much they're getting out of a 2-hour session. And maybe for some people, it's not always the case where everyone sees like the results of like Alex,
Mm-hmm.
that was here the other day. And sometimes other things are kind of getting in the way. Like, for example, for some people, pain. If a person's in, pain, depending on the kind of pain, there can be, much resistance in the body that their experience may, you may not see as much of the difference in the scan. But it
Right
doesn't mean
away.
that nothing happened. Like
Right.
the EE system is still working and helping the body to detox.
Right. Healing is a process,
Mm-hmm.
and it sometimes takes a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Like I said before, usually the more entrenched a condition, the longer period it takes to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit of patience usually goes a long way for most people. So it does take a level of commitment
Mm-hmm.
for most people to experience a result. But when you think about um, alternatives to, ingesting pharmaceuticals or being cut open for things, um, those are wonderful things, and there's a place for that. But
Mm-hmm.
personally, it's like I like to use those as last resorts, not first resorts. I rather try to allow my body to heal itself in the most effective, natural way that it was designed to do first. Give it a chance,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes that requires just giving it a little bit of time and being patient, so that can happen.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that's interesting about the whole pharmaceutical route. Some people, they just really think biochemistry,
Mm.
but when you consider like the body, this idea of biophysics, I think is something, that somewhat trumps this, biochemistry in some places. And so
Mhm.
when you think about alternative holistic wellness, having that biophysical perspective, I think is an important aspect, because we're not just simply, a biochemistry experiment.
Right.
So, there's physics involved. There was there's a saying that everything in biology can be explained through chemistry, everything in chemistry can be explained through physics, and everything in physics can be explained through mathematics. And so when you consider like this kind of chain, and taking a look at our wellness, taking a biophysical perspective, is different than biochemistry. And so we've actually had some members come here. There was this other family. The guy is a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
I forget whether his wife was also a pharmacist by
She
trade
was.
as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so two pharmacists, and they were very keen and alert to that, as pharmacists, about technologies that are about biophysics, and kind of moving away from biochemistry, because they understand that, as pharmacists. And so it's interesting, like the technology here, invented by Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. She's, her studies include biophysics.
Mm-hmm.
It's some, it contributed towards her inventing such a system, and having that focus on integrative medicine. So I just find her background to be quite extensive and wonderful for her. I could see why she created something like this. She really wanted to, help a lot of people at the same time, and it's just a wonderful modality that you can have multiple people in a room like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just coming and relaxing in one of these
Mm-hmm.
zero gravity chairs, or one of our we have two twin size beds back there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And people just come and they relax and essentially take a power nap in the system. Some people, if they're not napping, they're praying or meditating or just focusing on their breathing. It's really just you want to
Mm-hmm.
be in a completely relaxed state to get the most out of the experience. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like you have to do anything when you're here,
Mm-hmm.
except just to relax and be. And at the very least, I don't think there's anybody on the planet right now
Mm-hmm.
that could use a little extra time just kind of checking out of everything that's going on out there and kind of checking into what's going on in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a little getaway, a little self-care time. People enjoy going to massages and experiencing that, but this is kind of at a whole nother level. Nobody's touching your body here. You're just relaxing in the zero gravity chair in the middle of the room, and just kind of checking out and relaxing and closing your eyes and allowing you to relax and
That's right. And time might
not
really
care about anything.
fly by really quickly. Like,
Oh, we hear that all the time.
It's like it's 2 hours.
It's like 2 hours. It felt like a half an hour. So people can't imagine like sitting in a chair for 2 hours, but the system has a tendency to make one sleepy. And then when you wake up, most people will experience a mood elevation. They usually have a little more pep in their step. And it lasts for a period of time. It can last from a number of days to a few weeks. But very often they're more focused. They're calmer as well.
But we also had that other member. She had like a very different experience. Like she saw things and dreamt like things that was not
Yes.
typical.
Yes.
So she came out of the experience in the room was like almost as though, I don't know, there was a sense of disbelief and trying to, make sense of her experience.
Yeah,
because it
she
was so
kind of had
diff-
because it works in all four realms, the physical, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Many people go into a dream state and they have spiritual experiences. They will dream about things. They will meet spiritual beings. They will meet people that have passed on and have experiences in this way. We've had a couple of people astral project out of their bodies. It's been kind of an experience for us as it is for them to be with them and hear of their experiences and support people on their journey as they have these experiences. So because it works in all four realms, there are many people that have these experiences as well, but none of them have ever been scary, I don't think. If anything, most of them have been comforting, and if not comforting, even joyful, like freeing. So it's all part of, I guess, the releasing process so that the body can allow itself to heal.
So I guess, I don't know, I think if you haven't experienced EESystem, I hope you consider exploring and seeing what that's like for you. It may be a good match.
Yep. Check our website out, quantumlightwellness.com. We're here in Hillsborough, New Jersey.
Central New Jersey.
In Central New Jersey. We are one of the only centers that offer the BioWell before and after energy scans, and one of the only places you can get the LifeWave patch recommendations with that as well. And we also have another modality called the Therify Plasma Medbed, which is, Jay, it's behind you, back there in the corner. So that's another modality that also uses scalar wave technology. You can look on our website in the services tab to learn more about all of that. And we also have a number of events, workshops, and things. Click on the events calendar. We'd love to connect with you in person and have you participate in that. But Jay, I think we're going to end this because we have some members coming in a few minutes. So we just want to say thank you for participating in this with us. If you are watching the replay, don't hesitate to share in the comments, ask questions. We will be responding. We want to be able to support you wherever you're at, whether it's regarding the technology, whether it's regarding your own experience and your own health and wellness journey as it relates to sparking your own energy. Let us know where you are and how we can support you. We'd love to be able to do that. So until then, be well.
Be well.
Bye, everybody.